What's up, guys? My name is Kai. I'm the Nerd of Strength, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions for the Arnold Strongwoman Classic 2025. Now, I haven't made a prediction on this channel in 3 years, but in that time, I've never stopped loving this sport. I've never stopped competing in this sport, and I'm so excited that the women are getting to share the stage with the men. And those are the more exciting competitions, in my opinion, over the past couple of years. Whereas the men, you could probably more predict the podium. With the women, it's harder to tell. And I'll go into a bit further details on that once I go over our athletes list and our events. So, we have our current ACS champion, Angelica Jardine. We have the 2018 World's Strongest Woman, Andrea Thompson. We have the current U73 World's Strongest Woman, Erin Murray. We have Gabby Dixon. We have the Rogue Invitational 2024 winner, Inez Carrasquillo. She's also North America's Strongest Woman. We have the Arnold Amateur winner, Jennifer Lyle, coming up from that stage to the main stage this year. We have the World Deadlift Record holder, Lucy Underdowns. We have the Shaw Classic Open winner, Melissa Peacock. We have the 3-time U82 World's Strongest Woman, Nadia Stowers. We have the 2022 World's Strongest Woman, Olga Lyshak. We have the current and 3-time World's Strongest Woman, Rebecca Roberts. And we have the 4-time Canada's Strongest Woman, Sam Beliveau. Unlike the men, who only have 10 competitors on their side, we have 12 competitors here, and we have 6 events. And that's going to be a huge point spread, so every point matters on every event. If you fall down the card, it might be very rough to claw back out of that. But like I said at the opening of this video, it's more interesting on the women's side because of not only the bigger point spread, but because no two competitions are alike. There's been different winners of each competition in the 2024 season. I mean, last year, nobody had Angelica winning. I didn't. I'm more active on the Strongman Reddit, but I also didn't have her very high up in the rankings last year. So her winning was huge. It was amazing last year. So, you know, that also means you can never underestimate the Arnold Amateur winner. And 2, you never know who's going to win. But in my opinion, Inez is the favorite to win this year. After her breakout performances at North America's Strongest Woman and the Rogue Invitational last year, I think this is Inez's competition to lose, and she's looking strong. So with that being said, as opposed to last year we only had 5 events, we have 6 events this year. On day 1, we have the Elephant Bar Deadlift for Max, the Overhead Gauntlet, and the Frame Carry. And on day 2, we have the Big Jerk for Max, the Timber Test, and the Atlas Stones to Shoulders. I'm going to do something a little different from other prediction videos. I'm going to do a top 3 and a bottom 2. Now, I'm not trying to insult anybody with a bottom 2, but it's just also a way for me to talk about competitors that, you know, maybe people just won't mention in their videos. And I don't say it as a negative, but it's just like, hey, there are people who do have weaknesses, and I think it is important to, you know, mention, hey, maybe this person has a weakness, or to watch this video back and be like, oh, I was completely wrong about that. So with that being said, let's get into our first event, the Deadlift for Max. Obviously, this is Lucy's event. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She has the current record on the elephant bar. She has the current standard bar deadlift. I don't think anybody's going to beat her necessarily, but I do think Andrea Thompson will be a close second. She was the first woman to even hold the elephant bar deadlift record, and she's held her own very well on this implement before in the past. And, you know, watching Liz and Law's channel, they say that she's coming in very strong, and I believe that. For 3rd place on the elephant bar, though, I actually have Olga coming in 3rd. Now, some people, I think, underrate or kind of forget about Olga, but Olga was up there on the deadlift last year. I think Inez has improved her deadlift a lot, but I think Olga still might probably take a couple of kilos off of her and probably get that third place spot with Inez coming in third. I'm kind of curious to see what Angelica does. Last year, I think it was because it was her first year. She was a bit hesitant on her picks for her attempts, and I think she'll have better attempts this year. I still think she won't be in the top, but I think she'll do better than she did last year. Now, for my bottom two on this event, I do have Sam and Aaron. Sam traditionally is not a strong deadlifter as the rest of the people. She's also said that in her interview with Liz. And Aaron, I also have coming maybe second to last, unfortunately. In this field, she's just not the strongest deadlifter. She's a strong deadlifter, but in this field, she's not the strongest deadlifter, especially coming in as a weight class athlete as opposed to one of the open weight women. Event 2, we have the overhead gauntlet. So for that, we have 3 implements. They have the monster dumbbell, a natural stone press, and then there is a trump log of either 100 kilos or 122 kilos. And out the gate, I do think those first 2 implements are going to trip up a few people. Some people might not even be able to press the dumbbell. Some people might not get the natural stone and get to the log. However, I do have Inez placing first on that. She is a phenomenal presser. She is the best female presser on the planet right now. Her dumbbell's been looking strong. She's the current log press record holder, so she'll have no problem there. Even with her, she's been using Atlas stone in training. Even with an Atlas stone, I don't think she's going to have a problem with that. So I'm excited to see her on that. Who I have second on that, I actually have Olga second place on that. Again, somebody who I think isn't talked about enough. She's pretty good on the dumbbell. She scored decent points on the natural stone last year at the Arnold Classic, and I do think she could probably get 1 rep on the 122 log, which will be very important. If you get 1 on there, that trumps any amount of reps you do on the lighter log. So if she just hits that heavier log for 1, I think she's in a good position. And third, I have Angelica Jardine on this event. She's decent at dumbbell. She's going to get through that, beast that natural stone like it's nobody's business, and then she can move on to the log press. Watching her training footage and then watching back the Rogue Invitational from last year, I do believe that, if she gets through the first 2 implements fast, takes a good breather, she can get maybe 1 or 2 reps on the heavier log. And again, that'll be important points. So, it's saying that, depending on, the cardio of it all, Olga and Angelica would be my toss-ups between second and third. Now, my heart would love to have Andrea place second on this event, but last year, just the mishap of the circus dumbbell just kind of shot that down for me. Seriously, last year, I think that was my most, WTF moment of the whole competition was when she fumbled the circus dumbbell. It's just not her event. And with that being the first implement, I think that could be a problem. If she gets past it and she gets to the natural stone, again, I think that might also be a problem. Just because the body mechanics of being a smaller statured athlete could be a hindrance. But if she gets past those first 2 and she gets to the log, she could absolutely blow my prediction out of the water. So we'll see. I have hopes, but realistically, I still think Olga and Angelica will take that second and third place spot. For my bottom 2 in this event, I have Gabby and Jennifer. Now again, I don't mean to offend at this, but even Gabby herself, she just posted a video literally yesterday that she PB'd on the dumbbell. It's not comp weight, so that tells you out of the gate she probably won't get that first implement, which means she probably zeros. And with Jennifer Lau, I do apologize that we don't have that much information on her, so I do think she might be rated a bit lower on that. Maybe she'll get the circus dumbbell, at least guaranteeing 1 point, but maybe not the natural stone. I don't see her getting to the log. Sorry about that. Moving on to event number 3, we have the frame carry. Now, last year, the frame carry was the second event after the elephant bar. This year it's the third event, and I think that the overhead gauntlet is going to be very taxing on the ladies, that this actually shakes up my predictions for the timber carry this year. So my top 3 on this event, I have Gabby as first, I have Andrea as second, and I have Rebecca as third. Now last year, Andrea beasted through this event. It was so hype, and that's what caused her to be leading at the end of day 1 last year. But again, thinking about event number 2 this year and how taxing that might be, she'd probably be slowed down just a tad after the second event. Gabby, on the other hand, she has a phenomenal grip, and while she hasn't used this implement, I do think that she can kill it. However, I think, going up a ramp is what stops a lot of people, because if you stop and trying to re-pick it on that slant, that seems to trip up a lot of people. But because her grip's so good, I think she's just going to pick it, rip it, and grip it, and she's going to get up there. So that's why I have her first. I still think Andrea can get like second or third. I'm going to say she's going to get second on this after her performance last year. And I'm going to give Rebecca the third place on this. Again, Rebecca's somebody with phenomenal grip. I just think Andrea might just be a bit faster than her in this event. Bottom 2 for this event, I'm going to say Nadia and Erin. Now, I'm just going to apologize in advance, Nadia, because she's my coach. But she's working on a busted Achilles still. I mean, she's been rehabbing it and whatnot, but you're still basically coming in at a handicap, 1 leg down. So, and this is a very taxing and moving event. So, I don't think she's going to do very well in this. Will she pick it? Absolutely. Is it going to go far? No. Same with Erin. Erin said, this is not her event. She moved it a couple of feet last year. I think her goal is just to move it a couple more feet than she did last year, but she's not going to complete it. So those are my bottom 2 on this event. Finishing up day 1 and moving on to day 2, we have the event that I am the most excited for both the men and the women, the Big Jerk. I am so excited for this. I'm a little sad that they don't get unlimited attempts, but I understand the time constraints of the Arnold, so everybody gets 4 rounds or 4 attempts to find their max lift. Again, I have Inez taking first place on this. I want somebody to push her to a 400-pound lift. I don't think anybody's catching her on that, unfortunately, but you know what? I just want her to cement her dominance and pull a Thor. Win it in 3 attempts and just take that 4th attempt as a YOLO lift. Or, try to negotiate some money like Thor. Don't gotta be crazy money, but try and negotiate something. Be like, I can hit a world record here. I can hit 400, as a 4th attempt just cause. And get something out of it. I want to see her hit that 400 so badly. But I understand the importance of, reserving your energy because you got 2 more events after that. But please, 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 Inez, please try and hit the 4. But anyway, enough gushing. I have Sam Beliveau as second place. She's looking great in this event. Also with using the split jerk technique, which not a lot of women are using. I think she could do very well in this event. Probably around the 330. I think that'd be really cool to see. And then I have Andrea in third. Andrea is a beast at overhead. However, watching her training footage with Laws, the behind the neck just wasn't working for her, so she's probably going to use more of the front push jerk. And she is statically very strong. It's just in this kind of event, the more explosive from behind the neck, the better, but it is what it is. So that's going to be my top 3 on that event. My bottom 2 on this event, unfortunately, again, is probably going to be Jennifer and Gabby. Again, Gabby's not the best overhead presser. Just didn't look like she had the flexibility to do the behind the neck style. And again, Jennifer, I do apologize. I'm not well versed in her overhead. I'm not sure if she's going to do behind the neck or if she's going to do front. We'll see. Love to be proven wrong yet again. Moving on to event number 5, we have the timber test, which we still don't know how it's going to look. I've seen some training footage of how people are carrying the logs over to the drag portion, and it's going to be weird I can already tell it's going to be weird. I hope it's executed very well. It's just, we have so many different body types in the women's field. It's going to be very interesting to see how they all get through that portion of the event. With that being said, my top 3 I have as Inez, Rebecca, and Lucy. Now again, talk about the body types. They are more of the taller women in the field. So I think that will definitely help them, especially also not only on the carrying portion, but on the drag portion. If it's stupid heavy, being bigger and having bigger body weight is definitely going to help. And on the other side, if you're shorter and stubbier or lighter, is just not going to work out for you, you know? That's why for my bottom 2, I actually have Nadia and Andrea. Nadia, again, because of that Achilles, just, you know, again, if this was me in competition, if I busted my Achilles, I wouldn't be here. But, you know, that's the difference between somebody who's an amateur and somebody who is a professional. You know, she's going to beast it out, do whatever she can. Even just moving it a few inches will give her a point. If you don't move it at all, that's a 0. So I imagine she's going to do whatever she can, tape it up, beast it out, move something. And Andrea, on the other hand, is again somebody statically very strong. I'm not saying she can't move, but I'm like, they're also 2 of the shortest women in the field, being at like, what, 5'5" and 5'6". You know, they're not that tall, so I don't think they're gonna, you know, it's gonna be really awkward for them. And I said that as somebody who was 5'6". You know, I imagine like carrying the log would be very weird. Like I said, I can't wait to see how people are going to move these implements, because the women are going to go before the men, so they're going to be the guinea pigs. And then the men will get to go and, you know, figure out from there. And lastly, we have the Atlas Stone to shoulder. Now, event 6, everybody's tired, everybody's beat up. At this point, your mission is just to survive. No tacky towels only. Tacky towels suck. If you ever use a tacky towel, they don't do shit. I'm sorry. I've tried like 3 different brands of tacky towels. They suck. So a very heavy stone to shoulder without tacky as event 6 of a very heavy show. I probably only see like at most 3 reps max on the stone, because everybody's just tired, blown up, exhausted. But with that being said, I have Inez coming in first in that event, Rebecca coming in second, and Olga coming in third. Now, some people are probably like, why wouldn't you put Angelica in your top 3? It's just because she, you know, I think is better at natural stones that have more of like, you know, keys and places to hold it with different jagged edges versus just a actual Atlas stone. The grips are different, you know. Again, I also could be wrong and talking out of my ass. I also see her probably top 5. I just don't see her top 3 in this event. And again, after just being exhausted from the other 5 events, who knows? That's why it's kind of hard for me to judge who will be the bottom 2 on this. It's more about who's injured, who's tired, you know, who has the grit to even eke this out. You know, in this last event, there can be like 2 or 3 people who just straight up 0 this event. Who knows? I don't want to see 0s, but I would totally understand why people 0 at this event. With that being said, that's my predictions for the event. Overall, I have Inez in first. I actually have Olga in second, and I have Rebecca in third. Again, I personally think this is Inez's competition to lose. She's been on an upswing since the summer of last year, and you know, I can only see it getting better from here. Olga, somebody who's always on the podium, just always like, you know, almost there, but I think maybe like the frame carry might knock her down a couple of points. You know, there's a couple other things there too. Rebecca, I could see coming in third. Now, she's not the best overhead presser, but I think she'll shine our events like the frame, like the timber test, which will get her some points above people like maybe like Lucy, who will dominate the deadlift but isn't that good at overhead. Overall, I think this is going to be an amazing competition. And while I didn't talk about some athletes, anything can happen on the day. We might get surprised by some of the lighter weight class women. We might get a surprise breakout performance from Jennifer Lyle. Angelica Jardine would be like, hey, end up on that podium. Who knows? It's the Arnolds. Anything can happen. And I am very excited for this. So there are my predictions for the podium. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Call me crazy. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about since I haven't made videos here for 3 years. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. The ACS is in less than 10 days. It'll be free to watch on Rogue's YouTube channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like what I do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Join me tomorrow as I do my review for the Arnold Strongman Classic 2025.